Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I'm George. We're all George. So tonight, we got the very news that people have been waiting for such a long time. FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried arrested for fraud. Yes, he has finally been detained after all the shenanigans that has happened. So yes, that finally happened. So what are they charging him with? Where is he held? Is he going to be extradited? What's the latest? And there is one theory why it's happening today of all days. Let's talk about all these things and more. And also tomorrow, there is a big inflation data reading. So I'm going to talk about that as well. So welcome, guys. Let's jump right in. Front page, CNBC, FTX founder arrested in the Bahamas after U.S. files criminal charges. So right now, we know he's still in the Bahamas. The authorities in Bahamas said they will be working with the U.S. and they will be extraditing him. But in the meantime, they will still continue to investigate on their end. But right now, they're fully complying. And they said they did this on the behalf of the U.S. and the Justice Department. So everyone's, of course, been complaining about how SBF, after this whole collapse, is still enjoying himself inside his $45 million mansion this whole time and still tweeting away, right? People have been wondering, why has he not been arrested, right? Finally, it's happening. And what are they charging him for? A lot, including wire fraud conspiracy, security fraud conspiracy, and money laundering. Okay, some serious charges. And what's the tweet I want to get to? Yeah, this one right here. If he's convicted, okay, of wire or bank fraud, he could be serving life sentence in prison without possibility of release with parole. It's pretty serious. It's pretty damn serious, right? So he's facing some serious stuff. Now, here's the official letter that was released, right? Stating that the Office of the Attorney General of the Bahamas is announcing the arrest by the Royal Bahama Police Force of Sam Bankman-Fried, right? SBF Arrest files received a formal notification from the United States that has filed criminal charges against SBF and is likely to request his extradition, right? So at the time of such formal request for extradition is made, Bahamas intends to process it promptly, right? So they will be complying. So it's all good. And the District Attorney of New York, right, Damian Williams, also announced this. So this has happened. Okay, finally, it has happened. Now, also, I don't know who actually found this. Supposedly, there was an inner circle group chat called Wire Fraud. Okay, it just sounds too ridiculous to be true. But this also came out today, how SBF, Caroline, his cronies, Gary Wang, and others, they were in this group chat that talked about how they could break other people's platforms and basically a whole lot of legal stuff. Now, of course, SBF, before he got arrested, he tweeted us out that this is not true. I was not a member of that circle, right? I'm quite sure it's false. I never heard of such a group. I mean, are you kidding? The group, of course, would be something that he's aware of, right? Because he is probably the person that started it. So this whole thing of acting dumb, like, oh, I've never heard of it. It could be there, but I don't know about it. Okay, well, that is going away, obviously, right? Now, there is one theory. There's one theory why this is happening today of all days, right? And Dave Portnoy actually called it out. Wait, does SBF arrest mean he suddenly doesn't have to testify tomorrow? Could it be true? That is shady as F, right? That's the thing. He was set to testify tomorrow in front of the House committee on FTX, right? And all of a sudden, this arrest request comes in today, a day before that. So maybe some people are afraid that he may finally just spill his guts and reveal a lot more than he has been telling, which may be the reason why he agreed to testify in the first place. Because at first he's like, I'm not doing it, and then all of a sudden he changed his mind, right? So some people are wondering, is it just because they want to shut him up at this point, right? We don't know. But it is, the timing of it, right, does seem a little curious. A day before he's set to testify in front of the House committee, makes you wonder. All right, so this is obviously the biggest news of today in the crypto space, right? Everyone's been waiting for this to happen. People are still waiting for this to happen to Do Kwon and Zhu Su of ITrustCapital and possibly everyone else, right? But what's going on with Do Kwon, I revealed this morning. Supposedly he escaped to Siberia. Zhu Su, he escaped. I don't know where he is. Like, all these guys are on the run, right? But SBF is the only one that couldn't run. that got locked in his room in his mansion, and now he is arrested and will be facing charges in the near future, right? So we'll see what else develops. Of course, the new CEO is still stating that there's a whole bunch of shady things that's happening. I wonder if I closed it. But yeah, he was talking about, I think I accidentally closed it. But he was talking about, of course, all the stuff that he has found, right? Commingling user funds, providing crazy loans to the founders, also spending crazy amount of money in 2021 on projects that are now worth nothing. So, that $8 million that gone missing could just be because Alameda Research was just so bad at investing, and that is why it just went missing, and then they tried to patch it up with customer funds and a whole lot of stuff, right? So, all right. So want to lead off with that, and I'll let you guys know as this develops. But as of right now, he has been detained, sitting in a jail cell, not his $45 million mansion. Okay, so there's that. Now, there's one other big news, okay? And that's tomorrow, of course. Big CPI data reading, okay? Coming tomorrow. Absolutely huge, okay? It's going to set the tone for not only the remainder of this year, but probably the first half of 2023. Are we going to see inflation continue to head down? That would be 2 readings in a row, 2 months, back to back, right? And if it happens, well, I believe good things will be coming, right? So tomorrow, we're going to get that CPI reading early tomorrow. We're going to get it right before I start streaming. It's anticipated that CPI year over year will drop from 7.7% to 7.3%, which is a substantial jump. And core inflation now is expected to be even. This morning, I saw that it was still going to be high, but now it's in line. So if we get anything that's close to 0.3 for core inflation and a 7.3, right, or we see these go down, right, like this is also core inflation year over year. It's supposed to be 6.1, coming down for 6.3. If we see any of these numbers align, or we see them go down, right, we're going to see a massive movement tomorrow, and that's going to be fantastic. Okay, so a lot of banks, right, a lot of banks already making predictions, 7.2%, 7.3%, so 7.2% will be below expectation, 7.3% is in line with expectations, right? So this is what's to be expected, right? So tomorrow we're going to have a very big day in the United States. Now, overseas, not so good. Europe, Asia, still kind of struggling. The IMF saying the global debt is still well above the pre-pandemic levels, right? A lot of central banks around the world has not been as aggressive as the U.S. Fed, as Powell, right? So they're still behind. And of course, people in Europe are more affected by the war and energy, rising energy costs, you know. So 2023 probably will be better for the U.S. than most out there. But we'll see. We'll see what tomorrow brings. It will be absolutely huge, right? And we'll see. And of course, if we get good inflation data showing that, you know what, things are coming down, that means, of course, the day afterwards, that big press conference, right, from Powell will be more dovish. And if he's more dovish and is implying that there will be a pivot sometime in 2023, of course, that's going to affect everything, right, including Bitcoin and crypto overall and everything else out there. It could be a very, very good day. All right. That's pretty much it. Light news day, but of course, this is what everyone has been waiting for, and it's finally here. Now, as for Bitcoin, it's, you know, 17,150, a little bit higher than this morning, right? All eyes are on tomorrow. Overall, crypto market cap is hanging around the same point, right? So we'll see. We'll see. All right, let's do some Q&A. Got a lot of people on Rumble tonight. LS1 Forever says, I watched his 2 interviews this morning. I'm at Coors here on Rumble, and that arrogant F was gaming the entire time. I got to watch those, but yeah, SBF has been trying to play a whole lot of people, right? I don't think anyone's fooled by it, but, you know, every interview I've watched, basically him playing dumb, saying he doesn't know what's going on, he didn't mean it. He never meant to commingle people's funds, and he didn't know what was going on in Alameda and this and that, but he fails to mention about his billion-dollar loan or the hundreds of millions he spent on penthouses in the Bahamas, or the fact that $8 billion disappeared, and somehow he claims he had no clue, right? So you can't hide these things. Can't. All right. Let's see here. I heard Crypto Info says, hey, George, I heard Caroline hired the same lawyer as Ripple. No, I just covered this. She hired her lawyers. One of her lawyers is or was a co-head of the SEC. So pretty serious. I forgot her name, but shows you how serious Caroline is. And it shows you how much money she has to be able to afford a lawyer like that. What's the possibility of everything except Bitcoin going away if all alts are ruled securities? I say the possibility is very slim to none. Is Binance going to zero? No. Should a bank run start? No. Dan, I think you're spreading a little FUD with that. No, I know you don't mean it, but no and no. GT, thanks for your positive outlook during these turbulent times. You're welcome. My children are better liars than him. Educational video about people's currency. You know what? It's been in such demand, I may have to charge for it, right? So, I don't know. It may be going away forever. I've said I'm not going to play it again. So, if people want to see it, they're going to have to pay for it. Maybe not. Maybe not. I'll see how the chat ends tonight. Is Caroline getting arrested? I don't know. She was not in the Bahamas. She was in Hong Kong. So I don't know if she made it to Dubai. She's still in Hong Kong. She's back in New York. There's pictures of her in New York, right? So what's going on? Maybe she's the one that testified against SBF and made the U.S. Justice Department or whoever go after him. I don't know. That hasn't come out yet. Kevin O'Leary also tried to beat the narrative with his own media tour. My popcorn is ready. I mean, yeah, people still don't understand that, you know. People are more pissed off at Kevin because his continuation of defending SBF and basically saying he may be innocent and you know, of course, you know, people just don't understand how you could be in his position and still think that SBF was non-complicit in everything that happened, right? So I have no idea. He may have ruined his reputation forever. I don't know if, you know, he might not even be part of Shark Tank next year, right? Like his business ventures probably collapsing one after another. See, I got 6 viewers in Twitch right now. The War Player and Matt Mans. Welcome. You think SPF would join a gang in the jail? I don't know what to say about that other than to laugh. Is Kevin in the SBF sex tape? Maybe that's why he has to keep defending him. Do Kwon is looking to build a new stablecoin. The first time he fails, the stablecoin are proven not to work, so why try a second time? Well, I mean, UST was his second try. So afterwards, it leaked out that he actually tried before. He was not the co-founder, but like some advisor of some algorithmic stablecoin, and it failed. So he kind of knew that it wasn't sustainable, but he did it anyways. And it worked out when things were good. In 2021, when things were good, until they weren't, right? SBF will now be bound by the courts and not comment regarding the case. We won't find anything out, only pre-written statement by his lawyer. That's true. I don't know what else we would learn from him anyways. Unless tomorrow he was going to testify, right? Unless he was going to testify and say and just spill the beans on everything. On his connections, who's behind this, right? Who's been bankrolling him, who he has been bankrolling, and all this stuff. Maybe it was going to come out tomorrow. That's why they wanted to arrest him and silence him. No clue. No clue. Why do I dislike XRP? I don't. I think Ripple is fighting a good fight right now for all of crypto, so I do like Ripple. I just don't like their business model. That's all. That's all. XRP Ledger is fine, right? But Ripple, their business ledger, their business practice in terms of selling XRP, and the fact that they own more than 50% of the circulating supply, you know, that's a little concerning. But they do have the resources to fight the SEC. They are fighting a fight for an entire community, so everyone should be rooting for them to win. Dale Lane said UST was mathematically very strong. It was only very big money manipulating markets when everyone asleep that killed it. Yes, like this guy right here. I am pretty sure later on we will get to the truth behind who actually depegged Luna and started that bank run. And I'm pretty sure we're going to get the facts that state that this guy started it. I'm pretty sure because he found out. Here's how I think things went. He found out that Alameda and Caroline really effed up. And now they're billions in the hole. So they're like, how can we make that back? Well, let's go back to our roots, which is arbitrage. Do a lot of quick trades, right? That's how SBF made his money in the first place. You know, by arbitraging Bitcoin across several exchanges, different currencies. You know he has an algorithm for this already. So they're like, well, let's do that with UST. Let's test it out. Let's see if we could depeg it. Then they borrowed a whole bunch of money from Genesis and others, right? Converted it to UST and then destroyed the curve pool that had UST in there, and then caused a bank run, caused people to be fearful, and collapse everything. Now, him and Caroline inadvertently did that. They didn't think that it would collapse. And after the collapse, they hurt themselves more. That's the funny thing, because they had large exposure to Three Arrows Capital and all the companies Three Arrows Capital had invested in. So they inadvertently shot themselves in the foot and put themselves in a bigger hole, which is why they had to be even more aggressive and did more things to try to cover that hole, right? And that's when probably CZ and Binance realized that they're in a really bad shape. And that's why CZ did what he did, saying all this, saying he can't trust SBF anymore. He's going to sell all of FTT tokens, and then it bankrupted and start a bank run for FTX. I think that's how the story is going to come out later. Something like that. But I'm speculating. I have no clue, but I think if you follow the trends, right? Like knowing what we know and what we experienced over this last, year, yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. What are chances Tron was involved with FTX on Luna? If it comes out, I would report it and not be surprised. I would not be surprised if Justin somehow wanted to take down UST, because he also said, he tweeted days before UST depegged, he's like, I got a whole bunch of UST and wait for what I'm going to do with it. He may have loaned it to SBF. He had supposedly like $2 billion worth of UST or something. So, who knows? Who knows? Rob Payne, appreciate that. Did I miss one? Let's see. No, that's it. I didn't miss any more. When is Gary Gensler going to be arrested? Well, I would. I don't know. He's shielding himself right now. That's for sure. I think there's people shielding him, although he's in some hot waters too, because some congresspeople overall has been pointing fingers at him, saying you did absolutely nothing, right? Nothing to prevent this from happening. And some are pointing fingers that he was working with SBF and trying to work with the CFTC to try to get, more privilege for FTX or more special treatment, Super Google, no. I honestly think no. That has nothing to do with it. He's going to claim he just didn't know. I mean, he's been claiming that. So, I don't think that's a surprise, unless they kind of got the hint that he was not going to be playing dumb anymore and that he was going to spill the beans or leak out, who's been behind this. Some people think that he's just a puppet, that he's doing the work of someone more powerful behind the scenes. That could be it. Crypto bug, exactly. He has like 115 or 120 corporations, entities around the world. There's no way someone could do that and operate the way he did, right? And try to get all the attention and favors from the higher ups, right? Everything that he's been working on, right? There's no way that he could claim, well, I'm just the idiot. I just got lucky. No, there's no way. No way. Well, I'm wondering what SBF's last tweet. Probably. Yeah, his last tweet was this. And then 2 days ago, 3 days ago, he was still spreading FUD about CZ, still saying a whole bunch of S about CZ and stuff like that. So yeah. Deepak says if the corruption is as deep as some have speculated, SBF is in jail. He's already dead, or he will be released as a victim of the situation. I hate to speculate what's going to happen afterwards, right? But if he knows as much as some people think he does, he has very little chance of coming out ever again, right? So we don't know. We don't know how much he actually knows. So take a look at this trending right here. Epstein trending with SBF FTX, right? So people are making that connection that maybe he was going to testify and he knows a little bit too much, and that is why he has been arrested, right? You think Paxos Gold is a good substitute for stablecoins? No. Paxos is a good company overall, but, you know, if you want gold, go with gold, right? Paxos Gold is somehow you can convert or redeem for gold, or there's some kind of complicated setup. You know what? I just don't trust it. Paxos itself, their stablecoin is solid. They created a stablecoin for Binance. BUSD is created by Paxos. Gemini GUSD is created by Paxos. So I think they're a pretty good stablecoin company, but this gold thing doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Why does it matter XRP owns half the supply besides not being decentralized? Because, well, that in itself is huge. Because it's not decentralized, they can affect all decision-making on the chain. Ripple also pays for development. They say that XRP Ledger has nothing to do with Ripple, right? But who's funding the development on XRP Ledger? Who funds the developers? Ripple does. So can you see how that makes it a totally not decentralized chain? Mike Warren, SBF's just going to disappear. I hope not. I hope, you know, a lot of people are joking about it, you know, maybe even wishing it. You know what? I hope something like that doesn't happen, that he just disappears, or a mysterious hanging, or something, right? And if you think about it, if you really wanted to punish him, that's too easy. You want him to serve his life sentence. But you know what? Hopefully that doesn't happen. Tomorrow's futures is looking flat right now. Everyone's waiting to see what the CPI data is going to show. But this is definitely big news of the night. Thoughts on the housing market forecast? You know, luckily for the housing market, because so many people locked in such low rates, 2.25, 2.5, 2.75, no one wants to ditch their homes, right? Unless they're forced to. So the good thing is, because no one wants to really sell their homes, prices have not come down, have not crashed, right? But if the economy gets really bad and recession gets worse, then people, no matter how good their rates are, will be forced to foreclose on their homes. And then that's going to really start bringing, you know, the prices down, right? And the last thing the Fed wants is another housing bubble. So one of the reasons why I think they're going to be more dovish in 2023 is to prevent stuff like that from happening. Do you think most BTC holders care about decentralization? I think most of them only care about making money, swapping for USD. I think that's legit. I don't know about most, but I say a good amount probably does not care about decentralization. They probably don't even know what Bitcoin is all about. And that's okay. Every new person that comes in, right? But those people, if they end up staying, right, like during 2022, they eventually learn why Bitcoin is worth holding on to and why it will continue forward. That's what I preach and what I teach, right? These people come in chasing the gains, but they stay after they learn what Bitcoin is all about. Let's see. Now that SBF has been arrested, do you think crypto will gain some strength? I think it will, not because of this. I think because there's other external factors in play. In fact, I'm creating a video that will be released at the end of the year about 3 points why I think 2023 the market will recover. And I do think there will be a lot more things that will be helping the market, but not this puts closure, I guess, because there's been too many companies that has gone belly up and no one has been thrown in jail yet. So this kind of put closure on things a little bit, but there's more to look forward to. Emmanuel, unique name. Thank you. According to Maxine Walters, the new FTX CEO will be heard tomorrow, right? But obviously the new CEO doesn't know as much as the old CEO. Why do we need stable coins? What do we do before stable coins? Most trading pairs were basically using Bitcoin as the base pair, right? But now most of it has been changed to stable coins. So stablecoin has its advantage because once you hold a stablecoin, it doesn't fluctuate up or down. But if you swap for a Bitcoin, for example, like before, it could still go up and down. So just that, really. Vladimir asked about Magic and Stacks. I don't know anything about Magic. Stacks, I think, has potential because it's the only L2 for programmable dApps on top of Bitcoin. So they could have a future. I don't know about Magic. Gerald says, I think Kevin was in on it. I don't know. I don't think he was in on it. He was definitely an investor. He said so as much. Besides being paid as a promoter, but he was an investor, so it was, I guess, in his best interest to help promote FTX as much as possible. But again, after it all collapsed, people are, I think, more angry about the fact that he still doesn't recognize that this guy's a fraud and that he continues to believe in him and even say that he will invest in him again, right? Do Kwon hold the Luna Foundation emergency fund in BTC. He thought it would go up in price and time, but it got liquidated. He lost his money as well. You know, when he announced that at the time, I thought it was a brilliant move. That he used Bitcoin as a collateral for UST, right? No one ever thought he would have to deploy the whole thing. But by the time he needed to deploy it, it just wasn't enough because UST became too big. So even he had 2 billion, 3 billion in Bitcoin. By the time he converted and used it all to buy UST, it was too little too late, right? He didn't have an automatic mechanism to do so. He even admitted that himself later on, that it was all a manual process. Had it auto-converted to buy UST, right, maybe he could have saved it in time, but he didn't. But yeah, he ended up wasting 2 or 3 billion of Bitcoin, ended up buying all this UST that went to basically zero. So it was just wasted. Your straight guess. BTC up or down 10% by Wednesday PM. By Wednesday PM? I would say up by 10%. I think tomorrow's going to be a good day. I think we'll get some fantastic numbers. U.S. markets will rally, and I think Bitcoin will rally. I think so many people are waiting for Bitcoin to make a move before jumping in, right? That's why we've been so stagnant. So I do think tomorrow could be a very good day. So tomorrow we can see a rally day, and that could continue forward into Christmas and the end of the year. Caroline used her superior math skills to get out of her situation. Well, I guess she was right. Risk management is not important at all. That's how she was able to escape. I don't know. How do we know these criminals are really in jail or dead, or they could be in witness protection? I guess, or people visit them. You could go visit them if you want to check. Alex says she will pay me if I start my OnlyFans and pay me an FTT. FTT still has not collapsed to zero because FTX holds over 70% of the circulating supply. That's the funny thing. But you know what? We also have, on Thursday, it's unlikely, but we also have this chance that XRP is going to settle their lawsuit with the SEC. That could also be coming on Thursday. Charles Hoskinson spread that rumor, speculated that that may happen. So not only, we got 3 days of excitement. Tomorrow we're going to get a CPI data. Then on Wednesday we're going to get a Powell speech, right? And then we may get the Ripple settlement. That wild 3 days coming up. Did I watch Kyler Murray get injured tonight? No, I didn't. Charles used the word catastrophic. Did he really? Jericho says, I know we're in deep. I'm still standing. I don't know about this Bitcoin stuff. Well, that's why you're here. Okay? It's hard to grasp Bitcoin, why it's important, other than a speculative asset, like most people think it is, right? But if you understand what Bitcoin is, you'll truly never turn away, right? So hang in there. Keep watching my streams. You'll learn. You'll learn about Bitcoin. But tonight, everyone wants to know about SBF. Will CZ collapse Tether before Christmas? No, I don't think so. No. Powell loves Sam's Bankman-Fried. Sam gets all the attention. Maybe some truth to that. Check the news on Tesla. You will see why. What happened? I know Tesla went down hardcore. Tesla has been selling off like crazy. Down 6% today. I don't know. Elon's been spending way too much time on Twitter. He's just on there nonstop whole day. So I could see how there's a lot of investors turned off by that. Can CZ be trusted? You know what? I'd say as trusted as can be these days. He has shown that he has not done any risky things like SBF or some of the other leaders. You know, he's made mistakes. He's made mistakes. But he has shown he's a capable leader. So, as trusted as can be, I think Coinbase and Binance are the two exchanges that are really, in my mind, like trustworthy at this point. But even then, you know, there's questions. It's okay to be wary of centralized exchanges altogether. That's why. Learn self-custody. Get a ledger or download Trust Wallet, right? Self-custody your own crypto. It's that simple. It takes 10 minutes to learn. 10 minutes to learn. And once you learn it, it's a skill you'll have forever, because then you'll know how to transfer between different wallets. You'll know what an address is. You'll know what a recovery phrase is, right? Yeah, it's really not that hard. Jasmine coin, J-Rod, you know, I never got into that coin. I never did. It had a good, is it a South Korean coin? I think it is. I remember it had a good run in 2021, but I never got into it. And to be honest, I just hate the name too. Is it South Korean? No, it's Japan, Japanese. Yeah. I can't say much about this. Do you think Binance or Tether will implode first? If I had to guess, Tether will implode first, not Binance. Never trust a hippie who loves donating. I guess that's solid advice. All right, for those of you guys that tuned in late, just so you know, so you're caught up, SBF finally has been arrested in the Bahamas. The Bahamian authorities said they will comply as soon as the U.S. asks for extradition. They will comply. As of right now, he has been arrested. The U.S. has charged him with wire fraud conspiracy, security fraud conspiracy, and money laundering, according to U.S. Times, citing a person familiar with the matter. That's a lot of charges, and he could be facing life in prison. So that's the latest, in case you guys missed out on that. Got a lucky trade 2 laptops for a hobby box of 2018 National Treasures unopened. I think that's pretty good, but too bad it's not first off the line. First off the line are worth way more. How much are SBF's parents worth? I actually have no idea. All right, guys, I'll let you guys go. Tomorrow's a big day. Make sure you tune in 8:15 a.m. Central Standard Time. We got some big CPI data being released. So we're going to see if inflation is really coming down or not. So get ready for that, all right? And sleep better tonight, knowing that SBF is not sleeping better than you. Okay? So have a good one, guys. Take care. Oh, by the way, I know a lot of you guys have been looking for that SBF sex tape. I actually found it. So I'm going to play it for you guys right now.
What do you think about Ripple?
Well, I mean, I think it's too centralized, but I definitely want to meet Chris Larson.